People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for joining me again, this time for the post-match, or better yet, post-Arsenal 3, Benfica 2 victory for us, people, in terms of the Europa League. Now, long story short, first things first, please make sure you're hitting the like button. But long story short, people, I don't care how the boys did it. We needed to get over this tie, and we're into the next round. Who we draw is for another live stream and another video, but we needed to get through. It was embarrassing in large parts of the game, and it would have been even more embarrassing if we did lose. Long story short, we get out of there. We keep our Europa League or winning the Europa League hopes, going alive again. There's less question. There's still a lot of question marks for me, and I think the win positively takes the focus off that. But at the same time, it is what it is. It was one for the. It wasn't an easy one to watch. It definitely wasn't an easy one to be on the live stream with you guys, with people. It was a crazy game, like you saw. My emotions, I'm not gonna cap, all over the place. I was onto these players and then loving this guy the next, and why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We did what we needed to do. We're into the next round. I simply put, didn't care how it was done, people, but we did it. Big question marks, but at the same time, before I forget, and so I make clear, I'm not happy with the performance at all. Collectively, I'm happy with the togetherness and whatnot. Every player stood up to be counted, but in particular, for the second half, Martin Odegaard. Before I forget, Willian off the bench did a lot. People, I think Willian off the bench was very good in his little cameo. Saka obviously sat there and got 2 assists. Bukayo Saka's a bad boy footballer. 100k ain't even enough for him. I think he needs to be the highest earner at this football club. People, If it went another way, everyone would throw the book at Aubameyang. But at the same time, now you look at it, our captain stood up to be counted and grabbed 2 goals. There was some individual errors. There was making it too hard for ourselves. There was a lot, people. This game had a lot, really and truly. It had everything, man. So yeah, we might as well review the game very quickly, people. Now, let me share my screen with you guys again. I must admit, my emotions are all over the place. I'm watching that game again. I typically don't tactically review the Europa League, but I might just now. Arsenal fans were back to earth. Like I said, on another day, if we're real, passing wasn't good enough. Collective performance over the 90 wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough over the 180 minutes, including over the 2 legs. So in relation to we've learned from Olympiacos and things like that, I don't think we have. We haven't learned anything. You haven't learned to be clinical. You haven't learned the importance of being clinical. Across these 2 games, we've conceded just before half time. So the game management, everything I saw in the first half at least, reflects how we play in the league, really and truly. And the league, you get a bit of a blight, it might be a draw. Europa League, get out. If we went out, which there still should be question marks over Arteta and these players. If we went out, I don't know where we go from here, because I think Arteta would have had big question marks over him. The lineup, again, don't understand what's been going on with Lacazette. Even the time Lacazette came off the bench, didn't understand the sub of Willian at the time. He turned around and got an assist. Don't know what's going on with Martinelli and Pepe. I did think when you watch the game, people, you could see, this is where we over rely on certain players. We know in a nice way, 100k isn't enough for Bukayo Saka. It's not enough. I can never thank Saka. No matter how much I say thank you, first and foremost, he's a good footballer, but he understands it. He understands what it means to play for this club, and he leads by example. But I do think it is an utter disgrace that we, time in, time out, have to rely on Bukayo Saka to save us. Don't get it twisted. I love it, but I want to look left, right, and see other man. I never saw that, people. It's the same old individuals. I don't even think Tierney had that good of a game by his own standards, but he stood up to be counted. So there's still a lot of question marks. I don't think we learned anything. And, with that point being relying on Bukayo Saka and to a degree shoehorning Smith Rowe in the team, is because other players are not standing up to be counted. And for me, I was looking at Arteta. This is a big week for him. As I previously said, you've got Brendan Rodgers on the weekend. You've got this. I need to see positives or some positives in both. He shoehorned Smith Rowe and Odegaard into the team, and I think it was harming us. They're playing a back three already. They're not trying to get at us. And, you know, Smith Rowe and Odegaard, they can do it, but their immediate actions is to come short for the ball. And Tierney looked like he was a bit rusty in the first period. Bellerin was a bit touch and go. We weren't getting enough from our wide men. We all saw we was very sloppy in possession, very sloppy with our passing, giving it away, making things harder than it needed to be, being far too open on the counter-attack, in my opinion. And you could see it being a game for stupid mistakes, people. And it did happen. We're going to get into it. 20 minutes, I think we were very sloppy. I think it was more or less the same game as the first leg. I don't think we was aggressive enough. Again, we know going into the game is stick or twist. There's the whole away goals, and you know, it turned out how it did. Because if, like I told you, like, in my preview, if I'm Benfica, I think I can get goals. If I'm Arsenal, you need to get goals. It's probably naive to expect it to stay 0-0. I don't think we was aggressive enough. I think we was a bit scared that if we go forward, they score and they complicate it. And I think the same could be said for Benfica. Generally, our passing was very sloppy, as I said, but I do think Aubameyang was making runs, and actually Saka not being found. Maybe Saka empathized with his striker, because one of the first time, you know, to see the pass, all these players see the pass, but you need the ability to play it and you need the bravery to play it. Saka's got both. He sees Aubameyang, he plays it through to Aubameyang. First time I've seen a player look to really finding people, as I've got here, in the final third. Now, I did think, regardless of that goal, like I said, for all the possession we may have had or may not have had, we didn't do enough with it. We didn't score enough, because I'm pretty sure every Arsenal fan and their nan was saying you need 2, 3, 4 and them things there. And I think tactically we was giving too many encouraging signs to Benfica, because they were getting in behind. They weren't doing anything, but they were getting in behind, and you could see they believed in themselves, people. Obviously, Ceballos, again, I've given those free kicks away, and I didn't think it was a free kick, but what can you say? It's a stupid mistake. If I go and watch the game again, because we've had to make that foul, we've obviously lost the ball in an area we didn't. It's a fantastic free kick. That fullback has not been in the game at all. It's a fantastic free kick. I can't say anything to Leno. You just have to hold your hands up. You know, I didn't think it was a foul, but it is what it is. It's 1-1. Either way, game management, because to make that foul, for Dani Ceballos to make that foul, we're reacting to some phase of play where we've needlessly lost the ball, people. So again, game management's in question. It's on the eve of half time. I can't lie, it should have never been a free kick to me. I'm going to die on that horse, people. I can't lie. I mean, that hill, I'm going to die on it. Either way, there's nothing we could do. And one thing I would say, people can talk about Dani Ceballos' 2 mistakes at this point, focusing on that one. Regardless, it's a bit like the game last week where, fair enough, I didn't think it was a penalty. It's a whole talking point. We should have put the game to bed long before that. We didn't. This is what happens. You should have looked to have made it 4-5-1 before that. We're giving Benfica hope. I told you lot before the game, just by looking at the media language, you know, if I flick the screen, this is what you is hearing, people. They're fighting talk. Battles, fights are created to see who's to blame, because the group is no longer with the coach. From the first moment we are together, we're not doing things as we should be. You know, again, those of you that were in my live stream saw this, but this is pure fighting talk from the manager and his players, you know, and it's an underdog statement. I've been told you lot in the first leg, you know, I would, considering the first leg, if I was Benfica, I'd have sat there and said Arsenal are overrated. You know, I think Arsenal are one of the most overrated teams in this, people. You know, they scored a goal, but we shut them up. It was really our mistake after conceding. And you could see a bit of that. Benfica fancied themselves. There was an element in that game, especially when they scored, that they were breaking. They were respecting us less. They weren't really doing much, but there was encouraging signs, people. And simply put, we didn't do enough. I heard talk of cup final. If that's how you play in a cup final, it's a madness, really and truly. By the end of the game, it looked like a cup final. I can't lie. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. At halftime, my thoughts are these, people. I think we're giving too many signs of encouragement to Benfica, and just by them scoring, they're going to have the bit between their teeth. They're going to have their tails up. They're going to believe they can do something. Reality is there's not too much in terms of really anything to speak in the game. It was a nothing game. You know, both teams not really showing any quality in the final third or really threatening either keeper. But it's the highlights or them 2 goals, you know, or you know, the one bit of quality for us and Benfica. Fantastic goals from the free kick to the pass and finish from Aubameyang. You know, that's the only highlights of such. You know, I did think there's a lack of movement, but the few players that are making the forward runs, they're not being found. People are being scared. Saka found Aubameyang one time. I think it was a very lethargic performance. I think we was quite timid as well. Simply put, we didn't shoot enough nor create enough at halftime, you know. You know, I think they got down Benfica now. I think Benfica got down our side way too much for my liking. I didn't think there was enough width, mainly because, you know, the people you're putting out there are going to be narrow anyways. And Bellerin does. Saka was providing the width, but he wants to come inside. Very rarely is Bellerin making that run. I'm sure you all saw in that game, Bellerin was like a centre mid, and Ceballos actually made the overlapping run at one point. It's very annoying because whatever way it happened, to concede a cheap goal on the stroke of half time is annoying. It's cheap because it's another self-inflicted one where we've given it to them. And once again, it's game management. You know, it just comes to game management. And again, what I'm scared of as well is Benfica know we have a lot riding on this, people, you know. They know we have a lot riding on this, simply put, and they know they have nothing to lose at this point, sort of thing. So I'm very scared of that. And I think we're very careless on the ball. I think we're not stretching them enough. I must admit, I did think, you know, Arteta, the formation it's not it right now. Smith Rowe is coming inside. Odegaard is showing for the ball, but they're not finding him. And I think Odegaard's hiding in his own sake as well. And he must have heard me in my live stream, because second half he was quality. It's not enough. Tierney's looking a bit rusty. I did feel in the first half, Gabriel and David Luiz, excluding Leno, they'd be the only players I can't really ask any more from, give or take. But you know, there was a bit of moments where they were getting caught. I just feel people were taking. Xhaka was quite poor today as well. I just think we was taking more touches than we needed to take. I think we was lethargic. I think we just didn't do the basics, and we made it harder than it needs to be. Very much the same old things that typically happen with Arsenal, but it is what it is in that regard. Second half, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get a bit peed off and scared. You know, at this point, one thing I have about Arteta, he's not proactive enough. And at the time, I was questioning bringing on Willian. Shout out to Willian, he had a performance, but I don't think he's proactive enough. I think, you know, Benfica thought they had us for the taking, and really and truly, they can be proud of their performance. They made 3 subs early. 3 subs, obviously can make 5, but they made 3 subs early. I think towards the end of the first half, they had a bit of bright spots, and they continued that. They're dominating, you know. They were dominating towards the end of the half, and in the second half, they kind of continued that. They were setting it from the start. From minute 1 to about minute, there was a 10-minute period, especially in that first half. They were setting it for us, people. They were getting at us. They were, you know, it looked like we might concede again, people, you know. And when we conceded the 2-1 goal, Rafa, I think we all thought, yo, it's our day. They've counted us. And those of you that were on my live stream, I was saying the centre halves, Gabriel, David Luiz, what's going on? That is a disappointing goal, because we're too open on the transition there, in my opinion, my humble opinion, because it's gone from us having a corner to them scoring. Gabriel and David Luiz, we've tried something on the training ground, but they're very wide from where they're taking it. The corner isn't the best. They've counter-attacked, you know. Danny Ceballos has to hold his hands up, because never mind backwards, he's doing stupid stuff. Like, you're not looking. Rafa's just continued his run. Leno in no man's land. Tierney's tried to get back. It's over, innit? It's a good goal from Benfica. I think they deserve that. And it's like I said, when you don't do the right things, you get bad luck in the way we conceded and the way we conceded in the first leg. If you do the right things like Benfica, believe you can win, be proactive with the subs and the rest of it, you get a bit of luck, to put it nicely, with the other team playing poorly. And Rafa showed a good thing, what you should show most young footballers. Expect Danny Ceballos, or if that's a centre half, to make that mistake, because he gets that. He could have easily stopped, and then Danny Ceballos, nothing happens, but he kept going. Another person who I felt bits and pieces in the game, but really quiet, people. And again, the centre halves, I think I was very poor with them, upset with their positioning on the counter. I was upset with the whole team. Ceballos is doing a madness. And like you can see, it's very reactive, and we're effing it up, people. At this point, it's another game where we've taken a lead and surrendered it, where we've conceded an unnecessary goal, where we ain't set it from the start, people. You know, 2-2 Tierney's not having the best of games, but one thing you can't question is his character. And, you know, Williams got an assist. Williams looked good off the bench, to be fair with you, by his own standards. He's got us back in the game. And to be fair, I'm missing a point. You know, forgive me if I'm wrong. Did Aubameyang not get unnecessarily denied a goal for offside? And we know what time it is. You know, for me, you know, big up. Listen, I didn't want Odegaard to start. I think it should have been Smith Rowe. They both played poor. I think I was backed up with that in the first half. I think Odegaard made me look like a complete idiot in the second. I think, forget being involved. I think he stood up. That's the first sort of period I see from Odegaard where I see a bit of character. Like, I see him standing up to be counted. I don't need to talk about Saka. I don't need to talk about Tierney. Our captain, we're quick to give it to Aubameyang when he missed it last week and he's anonymous against City. Our captain has stepped up twice and slapped it in. You know, typically Aubameyang, more so last season was among these names. But historically, one thing that annoys me is if it's not Saka or Tierney or Partey who came off the bench and looked good, we're waiting on the same old man. Now, I give us, I do think people are going to look at this with no balance, like Arsenal fans do, people, in that they're just going to focus on what a great comeback. Some men are going to focus on the negatives when it's the in between. Fantastic bottle to come back because we could have lost that. But if I'm honest with you, I feel personally, people made it harder than it needed to be, gave them very cheap goals across these two legs, gave them way too much encouragement, ultimately not killing off the game. It was in the grand scheme of things, I can breathe now, but I do think if it went another way, you're questioning the lineup, you're questioning the time subs came on, you're questioning who actually came on, you're damn well questioning the mentality of the players and the manager. But at the same time, it's good mentality to get the win, man. Stand up to be counted. Sometimes it's not a game for good performers, and everybody has to play good collectively. You have to do your job. I can't talk about Bukayo Saka enough in a positive way on board. At the start of my other live stream and my preview, I always say with Tierney's and Sakas, I don't spend time speaking about them. I say they know what to do. And even the last couple of games now, Saka actually, by his own standards, ain't been amazing, but he's still been affecting the game. Now, for me, that's credit to how good Saka is and how special this man is going to be. But at the same time, this is why we're in trouble as a football club. We got away with it today. This is the same way we play. We might lose, we might win, we might, when there's so many things we done today. This time we got away with it. It can get crazy. The subs, I don't think the sub screams pressure because Willian came on, but at the time I'm saying you got to inform Pepe. I don't know what's going on with Lacazette. You got a young ball in Martinelli. Why are you bringing on Willian? And when I'm seeing certain things he's starting the game with and playing, it doesn't scream like the manager's under pressure. At the time, I did think we were staring down the barrel of defeat, but still, we didn't lose. But I think we've given away far too many cheap goals. It was 3 goals we gave to Benfica at the period of that point. My ending thoughts, people, on another way, it goes either way. Congratulations to Benfica. Well, commiserations, better yet, because I think they backed themselves to score. I think they gave a good account of themselves, more so in this second leg than the first leg, but it is what it is. Even if it went another way, I don't advocate scapegoating of Dani Ceballos. Now, please understand what I'm saying. Dani Ceballos, the free kick, I didn't think it was a free kick, but you have to hold your hands up. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what are you doing? This is the thing with our team. If it's not Ceballos this week, it's David Luiz or somebody else. I don't know what Dani Ceballos is doing. You're meant to be Real Madrid player. If Real Madrid scouts or whatever are not watching any games for you, they're damn well watching a game where it's a big tech game by the team that you're on loan standards. They're watching you. Now, they might be saying something positive about Odegaard. I don't think it was Ceballos. And I think Ceballos, in a way, Odegaard started off poorly for me and grew and had a very good end to the game. Ceballos started strongly and just went downhill and downhill and downhill and down. After the free kick, he never recovered. But what I would say is, like I said, he has to face the music. Ceballos has all that criticism for that stupid mistake he did. But what I will say is, away from that mistake, if we did lose that game, did we do everything we could to win it? No, it isn't that. We can't just focus on similar incidences. Now, again, face the music. I give this meant to say togetherness. I give them some credit for togetherness. Well, it is what it is. When I look at this with no emotion, people, certainly it's not good. Ultimately, it's not good enough over 2 legs, innit? It's not good enough. We got away with it. On another day, it wasn't there. We didn't really control our destiny, based on the talking points of going into the how Benfica's season's been, not that ours has been amazing, based on how Benfica fans were talking about their players, people. It should have been more of a foregone conclusion. So it says more about us than it does about Benfica. Ultimately, they're the same old questions, same old problems are still there, and the same old question marks over Arsenal, because we were poor today. Let's not get it twisted. We did what we needed to do in the second half. We showed bottle, but we weren't good enough. Let's be real. Either way, we did what we needed to do. I'm not going to sit here and complain, people. All I'll do is I'll give people credit, and they did what they needed to do. But simply put, it's just not enough, people. It's just not enough. But we'll have to see what happens in that regards. Sorry, people. Just doing up, me, timestamps. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, people. It is what it is in that regards, man. What are you lot saying? I see you lot going crazy in the comments. Get your comments in. Please make sure you're hitting up the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting up the like button. It is what it is, man. We're getting to the player ratings in a second, people. What you lot saying? Run up the likes, man. Big up yourself, my guy. You know, the people is, Dermot, the people, it's always got more bass in it when it's a positive result. You know, the ones there, when I lose, I'm all there like, people, delete it. So it's all meaty and half-hearted and that, but there's bass in it now, man. There's bass in it. I do think there's big question marks over Arteta because I didn't see the game plan. It was very reactive. I don't think the way he went into the game was the best way. Now listen. He got this. Listen, I didn't think Willian should have come on. End of the day, he got an assist, but I just feel at the time I questioned. Now with what transpired, it was a madness. But I do feel the starting lineup. You know, I don't understand why Pepe and Lacazette weren't in there, or at least one of the two. I wouldn't have started both Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Think it was one of the two. I did think he was very reactive with the subs. So yeah, I do think there's big question marks still over Mikel Arteta, you know, and I think, you know, I don't feel there's any real pressure because obviously he might have always known William's going to come on and do a job. But to me, it's looking like you're just being comfortable because if there's pressure, for me, you immediately bring on a Pepe who's in better form or one of the players, you know, Martinelli who's been given more of a count of himself. I'm not criticizing decision. What I'm saying is there's a cocktail of dodgy decisions that I saw today and we got away with it, but it's not helping me really and truly. And I do think it was reactive because second half now, they're on top of us. They're bringing on 3 subs. Again, when you're the manager and he knows more about football than me, but it's cool. But to me as a fan, it's like, oh, cool. They're being more proactive. We're losing the game. It's looking like you're feeling the pressure. I mean, it's looking like you don't know what you're doing. And I don't feel there's enough pressure because if there was an evident sort of threat of a sacking or stuff, I don't think we would see things like that, man. But it is what it is in that regards, people. It is what it is. I just feel Arteta has to do, you know, Arteta has to do a lot better. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Arteta has to do a lot better, or it's going to get long for him. Like, you know, he's going against Brendan Rodgers on the weekend and he messed up against Brendan Rodgers. I say that because he actually had Brendan Rodgers in the palm of his hand in that game at the Emirates. It's around the half-time, second half moment that Brendan Rodgers twanged it. And when I look at that, when I look at against Nuno, when I look at to a degree against Bielsa, when I look at Dean Smith, all games we played this season, even to a degree today, I see a very reactive man. I don't see proactiveness. And for me, I need to see that my manager has more of an idea in that we won. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not being negative, but let's be real. Like I said with that game, and those of you that listen to me, you're here with balance in it. You know, I'm not going to say, I'm not just focusing on, what a turnaround, blah, blah, blah. I'm not just being negative. It's a balance thing, people. Do you get? And I feel that it's another game where there's more questions than answers for Arteta, really and truly. And I would say on top of that, together with the team, you know, there's still a lot of questions. You know, you still failed to keep a clean sheet. You failed to know that you made the job harder than it needed to be. You failed to keep a clean sheet. You know, you surrendered a goal lead at a point. Yes, you turned it around, but you know, there was a lack of, you know, consistent quality on the ball. There's a lack of movement. There's a lack of being proactive in terms of how we're trying to play, both for the players, how they're implementing the game plan and playing, and the manager. And there was no, I wouldn't call it reactive. I call it street smartness. Now, if you have a plan, you go into a game and you see the opposition doing certain things, change it up, do stuff. I see there's way more question than answers. And we're going into the Leicester game against an informed Leicester, against players who are playing well, players who are getting admired by other clubs, players who want to play under Gareth Southgate at the Euros. Going to need to stand up to be counted. So I'm going to need to see a big performance. But when emotion dies down, I think many fans will see that, you know, we overcooked this, you know, when the euphoria of, we came back from behind, we took the lead, then surrendered it, then came back, you know. We conceded 3 very cheap goals, 4 across 2 legs. I don't think this is a team that's learned its mistakes from Olympiacos. I do. Historically, one thing I'll give Arteta, there's been a bit more fight and determination. We can all admit that. And maybe a bit of that transpired to get the win. But if we're honest, you know, this is a team that's shipping goals. How many clean sheets has Benfica got? This is a team that will concede. I think it says more about us than it does about them that we've made this harder than it needs to be. I think, you know, we needed to do what Man United did against Sociedad. I don't know how that game's going on, but they blitzed them in the first leg. With all due respect, you know, Benfica would probably smash up the team Spurs got, Wolfsburger, but Spurs dealt with that. We didn't deal with it. Instead, it looked shaky. At a point, I thought it's going to extra time. I'm all there going, DG's going to have to do more live streams and all that sort of stuff. It's in for a long night. So there's still a lot of questions, people. There's still more questions than answers, but it is what it is, people. We move. Hit the like button. 455 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Can we get 400 likes, people? Every like means scoring higher in the thing, man. Come on. We've only got 195 likes, though. You lot are violating, man. Come on, people. Take that to 200 and beyond, man. You lot are violating. So yeah, James has said, I can't lie, I enjoyed tonight's game. I love games with late twists and drama. Bro, I wish I had your heart. I wish I had your heart. I can't, bro. That's every game for Arsenal. I could take it every once in a while, but I can't, bro. See how the water's full? The water would have been gone. In fact, the Henny or the Ray and Neff or the Ciroc or the AU vodka that you lot can't see, one of them probably would have been finished if we carried on like this. So it is what it is, man. You know, credit to Leno for not overcommitting. To be fair, you know, I feel sorry for Leno because, again, it's another game where he's conceded two goals and there ain't nothing he could do about it. You know, he never conceded the foul. Free kick was amazing. I'm sure goalkeeping coaches, there's always one who'll sit there and say Leno could have done this and the other. That was clearly a man who works on free kicks. You can't, that's a bit like the João Moutinho against Wolves goal, even though I think that one could have been saved in that. Them goals there, you can sit there and go, all right, say nothing. But other than that, we're just handing cheap goals to them people. So we've got a lot to work on, man. You know, he's comfortable here. But to be fair, you know, you got to give a man... I'm just giving Willian his credit, bro. Do I think Willian's the guy? No. Do I think would Willian be part of my team? No. But at the end of the day, he came on, he played better than he has played. Would he play for me the weekend? Would he have been the first one? No, he got an assist. But I think you have to give a man credit and critique where fair. And I think when it comes to players that we don't believe are the future of this club or should be used, to a degree, Xhaka, more so Bellerin, and obviously Willian, we're very quick to condemn, slow to praise. And I think you've got to keep the same energy, man. You just got to call a spade, man. To be fair with you, communication was suspect today. Very suspect. Man said he would rather me than Bellerin at fullback. I'll be blowing by the 50th minute, but I'll give you my full effort, man. At least one thing about me, I might have problems, but at least I will go forward and give Bukayo Saka more space. And you lot will fall in love with the slide tackles, man. That's it. Danny Ceballos tries things. Reality is, you know, Ceballos has to hold his hands up. His bacon got saved by Saka and Tierney and them and there and Aubameyang. His bacon got saved, but it is what it is in that regards, people. It is what it is, people. It firmly is what it is. We done what we needed to do. If it's the problem for me, Ceballos, like you said, he has to hold his hands up. It's awful mistake. Some would say too. But my problem is, throughout the course of the season, you know, when we look at isolated incidences, we say, all right, say nothing. It's, you know, it is what it is. It firmly is what it is in that regard, sort of thing. But at the same time, if it's not same way Ceballos this week, right? We've seen it be David Luiz. We've seen it be Cedric. We've seen it be even Gabriel. We've seen it be Xhaka. Guendouzi's not here, but previously you've seen him. You know, we've had several. Every week it's another player. So again, I feel mistakes happen in it, but some mistakes happen more often than not. Like I said, you don't know me. I'm gonna go watch the game again, and I can't tell you everything at this moment in time. But because of the action and the fact that we're defending, why has Danny Ceballos made that foul? Somebody, whether it's Ceballos or someone else, somebody's lost the ball, and we're in a defensive phase of play now. Did we have to? Is there something there where we lost the ball? Why we lost the ball? Did we have to lose the ball? And some teams are better on the transition than others. You know, when we make again, you know, I'm more focusing on the forget the free kick because yeah, you get it. We're reacting there. I'm more focusing on this now. You know, it's the thinking of our players. We've got players that have played for Real Madrid, players that have won Champions Leagues, and they're doing things like this. You know, they're doing things. If it's not Ceballos, it's there's several players that will do it, and they're quite fairly in football terms, if not due to trophies, maybe due to stature and times played for your country, and that they're highly decorated. So, you know, I do think Arteta needs to coach these mistakes out, but at the same time, I think players, you know, there's only so much you can do with a player. A player knows he's doing these things, and I just think mentally, these players, you know, are still fragile. You know, it's the same questions. You know, it's just this win, this comeback kind of covers up things really and truly. You know, like I said, and for those not listening, for when I kite up, on one hand, I praise the comeback. You know, it's mentality. We could have lost that, we'd be vexed up. But at the same time, it's reactive. Why are we doing that? Because we're reacting to our mistakes of the first leg. We're reacting to our mistakes of the second leg. We're making mistakes. You know, there's got to be something in how we're training and mentally how we're approaching games. Because we heard cup final, we heard our seasons on the line. You didn't play like that, really and truly. You might have in the last 20, but you didn't play like that. And for, you know, and for the players, they've got to wake up. We know we need better players, but I'm not against Arteta. I'm not necessarily 100% for him. I need to see more from Arteta to suggest that, okay, cool, when you get these players that are a bit more switched on, a bit more rough around the edges, a bit more street smart, you're going to lead them forward. Because I like Arteta, but I must admit, I see a lot of decent things. I see some concerning things, really. And, you know, the way it's going, you know, we don't know how it can turn, man. Bro, you're right. Without Bukayo Saka's mentality, bro. Because Bear Man are hiding. He never hid. He tried to, a couple times he put balls into the box. They were dead. He kept going, man. He had, like Block said, bro, he had a quiet game. He's still doing more than Bear Man. More than Bear Man. It's crazy, man. Take nothing away from Saka. But like you said, it shows how much we've fallen off, that we're relying on Bukayo Saka to turn things around. Smith Rowe historically, you know, it's ups. And like I said, I'd be ashamed if I was one of these more experienced players. You know, it's crazy. Not enough people wanting to make that dangerous pass. 100% H. Big up all the members, them. All my actual followers, please make sure you're subscribed. Please make sure you're paying attention for your Spotify's and Apple notifications tomorrow. New episode of the DG podcast. Obviously, I'll be streaming tomorrow. You'll get your Leicester versus Arsenal preview amongst other things and the rest of it, people. You know, very sweaty game, man. Our head coach isn't our biggest issue. It's our owner. 100%. It's our owner, but you know, we can only take face value at this level right now, my guy. We're almost at 300 likes, people. 291. There's 486 of you. We're close to 500 people locked in right now. Hit that like button, man. Come on, people. Support the thing, man. Come on. Support the thing. Let's get that to 400, man. Please. Every like does something. Trust me, man. I'm not saying Bukayo. I'm not trying to overrate Bukayo Saka, but I think Messi could learn a bit off him. Do you get it? But we're shameless, man. And this is it, man. You need to get rid of him. You need to get rid of him. This is it. It needs to be onto the owner. It needs to, man. It needs to. To be fair, I think Odegaard played better in the second half. I was onto him in the first. You know, Gabriel, like I said with Ceballos, I think he went down a lot. I still think he's a quality centre half. I still think he's our centre half, but I think it's a 5 for him, really. I'll be real. I think he started trying to get into too many physical battles and things like that. It was calm, bro. Calm. Shout out to Partey and his little cameo off the bench, man. You're right, bro. Pele said when he was growing up, he used to watch videos of Saka still. I hear him say that as well. I hear him say that, man. I really hear that. I got a couple super chats. Man said my smile was contagious. You man say I don't smile, so I must be smiling. There's a couple super chats there. Let me get to reading some out. Brian has said, Arteta confuses me. On one hand, his team is undisciplined and confused oftentimes, but his subs were spot on today. Fair play, you're right. And it does confuse me, you know. Anytime you get a little inkling or you think you're getting an inkling into like who he necessarily likes in the lineup, he might just throw them out. Like Xhaka's playing every game, but there might be against Leicester, he might drop like a Xhaka to the bench, the same way he's done that at times with David Luiz and a couple other things. So I don't agree with him not knowing his best team. You know, I can't accept that because you've been here for a while. If you don't know your best team, then that's an alarm. But at the same time, I still don't think he's convinced with everyone. I think it's a bit like being an under-8s manager and the players aren't really that good. So everyone's getting the game sort of thing. And that's it as well. This is what I'm saying. We got away with it, you know. To be fair, a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm not trying to criticize Arteta, but you know, we can only deal with what's in front of you, which is today. But how many times has he not done this and we have not got the result? Do you get it? So it is what it is. He needs to learn fast. That's the one thing that's one problem I have with Arteta. It's like, obviously, you're not going to know what you don't know, but I think he doesn't learn from his mistakes fast enough and implement, you know, the opposite to it sort of thing, people. I see some super chats. Let me get into the super chats very quickly, people. I don't want anyone to think I'm violating. YV has said, big up DG, keep grinding. I appreciate that. Elliot has said, thank you for your content, brother. I appreciate that, man. Love for, YV, Elliot, Brian, love for them super chats, my guy. I appreciate you lot departing with your hard-earned money, especially at effing time like this where what's going on globally and everyone's losing theirs. It might as well be £1,000,000 to me. It means a lot, man. I appreciate that, my guys. And I appreciate everybody who's just listening to the thing and just here with me right now, really and truly, man. Bro, I heard Saka was coaching Alexis Sanchez, bro, when he first come to the Emirates. That's what I heard, man. That's what I heard. Bro, what Bukayo Saka needs to do, he needs to take Reece Nelson and a couple of them young boys extra training and say, this is what I'm on. If we could have 11 Bukayo Sakas, life would be sweet, man. Life would be sweet. I wouldn't say I'm fuming, but yeah, I wouldn't say fuming. I'm just to be through is cool, but I'm like, ain't really good enough, is it? Like, still the same question marks, is it? It's crazy. David Luiz. Arteta needs to do something. We need a creative midfielder and a defender. I think Odegaard stepped up in the second half. I was really criticizing him, but it is what it is. He shouldn't be the last man, but at the same time, last man or not, if you're going to head it backwards, make sure you've got a teammate there. He didn't, so he needs to hold his thing up, man. And hold his hands up, and he's there to be blamed. Pause. Come on, my guy, Jay. Lovely to see you back in here, man. He ain't been the same. He's getting his fitness back, man. A man said, stop spoiling the mood. I'm not spoiling no mood, man. Get out of here, man. You ain't serious, man. Bro, I've been delaying it because I don't even know for the player ratings, if I'm completely honest, man. What have you said here? It was great to see the players didn't give up so soon. Thank God for Aubameyang, Saka, Tini. Love your content, DG. First things first, I appreciate you for your kind words. And yeah, man, it's the same old name standing up to be counted. Let's make sure it means something, because it don't mean nothing if you go out in the next round. Set down a marker now. Take that little bit of confidence and show me you can do a thing. You can do something. You can do something against a tough Leicester side, and an informed Leicester side, and a confident Leicester side. To be fair, I told you lot from day, Gabriel is a defender who needs a lot of work. He's a great defender, in my opinion, a quality defender, but he's got a lot of work to be done. He's raw around several edges. That's why I don't think Arteta is going to try and do a thing of having Mavropanos, Saliba, and Gabriel in his team for next season without somebody as well as Marie, who's that sort of more bridge player experience sort of guy, in my opinion. I don't think Gabriel's a 4. I think he's a 5, but fair play. He was a second half. He let it go down, man. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. We're going to get into the lineup in a sec, man. Man said heart rate was on the ropes. Never loved the player as much as Saka. If you get into Thierry Henry. Come on, people, man. This is it. We celebrate, but life moves on. We just want the right improvements. This is it, man. I appreciate that, Vic. It's getting late over here, so I'm not too sure what time zone you're in, but nonetheless, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. I don't think he did much wrong apart from the things I've mentioned. It's not a game you can get him, but I just think it's a game where it's the same old question marks, man. Bro, I don't have a clue, man. I don't know. Based on what I've seen over these 2 legs, boy, everybody should be fancying Arsenal in the next round, because, with all due respect, there's better teams than Benfica. If you do some of this foolishness, they're exploiting that, man. Come on, my guy, man. Do your work thing, man. Love for that. Tini was good, man. Tini reacted well. That's what you got to do sometimes. You got to react well when you're playing poor. Because I think it's a weird one. I think other players started poorly and grew into the game. Players started well and then started moving poor. It was a crazy one, man. It's a crazy one, man. So yeah, the key thing is just we're through to the next round, man. That's the only thing I truthfully care about, really and truly. Keep the comments coming, guys. Keep the comments coming, guys. Keep the comments coming, guys. Hit the thumbs up, all of them sort of things. All right, Armenian Gooners. Big up the ones locked in Armenia and them things, man. Hovit, appreciate that, man. 1 a.m. Go get some sleep, my guy. Go get some sleep, my guy, man. Appreciate you tuning in each and every time, bro. That was one for me. Don't understand why Cedric don't start, but Arteta's that's his done, isn't it? And that's what I believe as well, man. Some people would rather see Arteta do badly just to prove a point. You can think Arteta isn't certified, that's okay. You can think that he's the man, that's okay. If you're shown something to think the other way, that's okay. I don't think you need to. I think in football, there's too much damaged egos. Like you said, too many people would rather Arteta do a madness or whatever just to be right. I think that's way too much, and it's upsetting, man. Because Arsenal Football Club is all that matters, man. And that's a dickhead thing. Anyone that ever wants a team to lose just so their manager can get sacked is a madness, absolute madness. Big up yourself from all the way in NY, man. You're on Bants, innit? You're on Bants. Mo, good one, man. My team won. Allow it, innit? I ain't even gonna get it to you, man. Oh man, what a guy, man. I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it, man. Bro, we deal with the Leicester one tomorrow, man. I'll speak about Leicester tomorrow online, man. Right now, this is it, man. This is it, bro. I'm still processing the game, man. Boy, I don't know. For me, I'm support. Big up all the JA tugs as well. For me, personally, I'm not. I'm more Arteta. I guess if you pushed me, I'm more Arteta in than out because I can't wholeheartedly say, "Yo, he's not my guy. He's not my guy." I see some, like every manager, I see some things I don't like in what he does. I see some concerns. It is moving towards one side more than the other, but I just think he's all right. If you're talking, so I'll give Arteta until the end of the season, and then is what it is. Bellerin now, I can't lie. Bellerin's made his bed for me. Like, there's no way I was for if I because I don't understand your question. Forgive me. If you're saying Bellerin to the end of the season, I was prepared to give Bellerin this season under Arteta for that reason, and I ain't really seen nothing. So, bare different managers. Certain men have been under 3 or so managers now. Nobody's really turning the corner. There might be a little bit of form here and there. No one's really turning the corner. So for me, I want less of these players, man. It's okay to have one or two and them things, but when we've got too many projects, Bellerin's a project, Pepe's a project, Joe Willett, Maitland-Niles, Guendouzi projects, bare projects in defense as well. Like there's bare Xhaka project to a degree. Like I just want consistency, but it's irrelevant, man. You're right, man. The big man did bless us. Military Gooner, you're right. Fully was an emotional roller coaster, man. To be fair, Neil, Odegaard's just joined. He's just started playing consistently. But I do agree. I haven't seen anything special. Like I said, I don't really want to judge a man too early, but I think second half he turned it around. But I do agree. I think I ain't really seen much to say take him permanently, really and truly. But it's all about what we're saying come the end of the season, really and truly. If we're still undecided, then I think the question is answered. If who knows, man, he might be able to do something for us. If you could pick, who would you rather see play Arsenal in the next round, Spurs or Emre? Either one. I would like to play Spurs, but then Jose might do a thing against us. But it would be nice to knock them out. Equally, it would be nice for them to knock us out. I'm sure Spurs fans would say. So maybe them, equal. Either one, man. I would like to play Emre. In fact, maybe not because Emre knows how to do this thing in Europa. So I'd maybe Spurs. Maybe I ain't trying to buck Emre yet, really and truly. To be fair with you, I agree, Moses. But if you can't make light work of Benfica, considering where they are, considering in my lifetime, this is probably one of the least competitive Benfica sides. If you can't make baby food of them, and you've given them bro, you saw it yourself. They took us to the last 8-10 minutes or so of the last game to pattern it. If you can't do that, then for me, if you're these Ajaxes, and I think you can draw English teams now, surely, forgive me if I'm wrong, everybody should kind of be relishing us away from the other ones. Mo, I appreciate that big praise, man. I really appreciate that, man. We did show big character. But like I said, two truths can be there. You showed character to come back. Can you show character from starting the game of the second leg, knowing what's wrong in the first leg? So again, two things can be true. Two things can be true. Everything's a project at the club, man. Everybody got out of jail, bro. Everyone got out of jail. Let's be real, you know. And said Bruce Riokin. Yeah. But everything's a project, my guy. Everything. Xhaka was poor today. He's been better recently, but it was poor today. Decision needs to be made on Granit Xhaka because he's got 2 years left, something he mentioned. But yeah, man. Big up all the South Africans locked in, and especially the ones in Cape Town. Shout out to you lot, man. I appreciate all of you lot locked in. To be fair, listen, that's what I said. I said it's self-inflicted. Character for me, my guy, Hendon Guna, is knowing that you effed up in the first leg, setting it from the first 20 minutes, getting 2-3 goals. That's character for me. Character, they did get back into the game. I agree with you. We gave them all these goals in this game and in the other leg as well. But let's be real, it is character to get in the game, really and truly. They could have just pussyfooted around it. They've patterned it up, really. But yeah, man, this is what I mean. This is one of them days where you're going to see bare extremes in people's opinions, very few balance where you consider both the sides, man. Have a good sleep, man. Have a good sleep, my guy. But yeah, man, I think with that being said, is it time for the big up yourself, Beanie? Is it time for the player ratings? I think it is, man. Zini has said, oh, sorry, watching you from South Africa. Thoughts on Xhaka today? I thought Xhaka was poor today. We defo can't do this in the next round. Big up you, Cammy in Dubai. Stupid o'clock over there. Where was what I was meant to say though? Zini said something. Your comments going. Apparently, Mr. Jesus is bugging out in the post game. No, I'm unaware of all of that, but I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna tell me. We might be terrible, Matthew. We might be, man, but you can't change a football club, can you? You just got to do what you got to do, man. You know, shout out to yourself. But I think it's player ratings time, people. I think it's player ratings time with 46 minutes on the clock, people. In fact, I say 46. Let's get into the player ratings. So let's say 46. What seconds is this going to be? Player ratings time. So yeah, let's get into the player ratings. Before the player ratings, though, don't let football ruin your week, mate. You need to separate the football fan from the human, bro. Football's my life. I know there's more important things in life, but nah, I like it this way. Leno, first, give him a 5. You know, didn't have to do much today. I don't think you can blame him for any of the goals. Definitely not the free kick. You know, they weren't his fault in it. You know, he's reacting to Danny Ceballos' mistake. So yeah, man. Leno, I'm giving him a 5. Bellerin, I think Bellerin's a 4 for me. You know what? Yeah, I think Bellerin's a 4 for me. I don't think he got ripped, but I just don't think he was good enough today still, really and truly. I'm gonna give David Luiz. I'm gonna give Luiz a 6 still. Maybe if I watch the game again, I'll give Luiz a 6. In fact, no, that's OTT. I'll give him a 5. I think Luiz was calm today. Can't really watching the game first time, can't really say anything about David Luiz. Gabriel, I think I'll give him a 5. I think he looked a bit suspect, especially when he started getting tight. And this is where I need to see how we coach our players, because you need to be able to get players that are raw, like a 22-year-old centre half, and get these bits out of him. Sometimes he's getting too tight and getting spanned too easily. But I did think I saw him try to fight. I saw him try to continue. So I think a 5 is a good result. I'm going to give Luiz a 6 because I don't think Gabriel and Hughes on the same level. In fact, a 5. But his is a high 5. Yours is just about a 5. You know, Tierney scored, so I'll give Tierney a 6. You know, I'll give him a 6, maybe even a 7. I do think a 7's OTT. If I'm real with you, I'm going to give him a 6. Scored a goal, reacted well, did his thing for the team. Even this is what I mean. When Saka has a bad day, he still stands out. Tierney has a bad day, he still stands out. This is the character of people. You know, shout out to Tierney. Without that goal, we're out. But he did look a bit sloppy today. I did think they were getting down his side more than they would. You know, everyone was poor today, but really and truly. But I'll give him a 6, maybe even a 7 another day. But I can't get caught up in the euphoria of just turning this game around personally. So I think we did all right in defense, man. We did all right. Xhaka, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a 4. Maybe it's harsh. But from what I saw with Xhaka, I think Xhaka was because Xhaka's actually been, in my opinion, Xhaka's been doing all right the last few weeks. I think Xhaka was off the pace today and gave the ball away a bit too needlessly. So I give Xhaka a 4. Ceballos, I've got to give Ceballos a 3. Personally, he made a stupid mistake, which someone who has played for Spain, someone who's played for Real Madrid, you shouldn't be able to do that, really. You shouldn't be doing that. And it's upsetting because Ceballos, prior to this, he had 2 good games in the spin. He had 2 good games on the spin. I actually feel until we conceded that free kick, he was looking like he was on a different level, people. And then it's like he never got going. I don't think the free kick was a free kick, but if I take it for base level, people, 2 errors, 2 mad errors, and that's it, man. But it's all right, you have to, it has to be that, innit? He has to hold his hands up, 2 errors that it doesn't mean anything, but that's a big central point. And what I mean by that is, people, in a sense, I don't want Ceballos scapegoated. He made 2 stupid mistakes, but away from those errors, did we do everything to say we walk away with victory in this game at that point? No, we didn't. So what I'm saying is, on one hand, critique him for going out, but critique him for playing poor, but consider all the variables. So you had Ceballos, Odegaard. I give a 6. I'm not going to give a 7. I think normally I'm too generous, and I think today I'm not really just focusing on that away game. I'm focusing on the poorness, and I think Odegaard reacted well. I think his passing in the first half, I think he was hiding. Second half, I think he was superb. So I give him a 6. I think he stood up to be counted. The players finally started just giving him the ball. I think a 6 is a calm result. I don't quite think it's a 7. For Bukayo Saka, though, he gets a second, a 7, in fact, an 8, because I think without his assist, he was on course to get a 6. He wasn't playing amazing, but he was setting it differently. Either way, he's got 2 assists. He never stopped going, so I give him an 8. For me as well, in fact, before that, Smith Rowe. I think Smith Rowe was quite poor today as well. I give Smith Rowe a 4 might be a bit harsh. Smith Rowe, give me a bit of time to think about his people, but I give Saka an 8. Who else is up there? Bamian, give you an 8 as well. I think he played well today. Don't quite think it's a 9. Then again, I give you a 9. You scored a brace. Really. Scored a brace. Gotta give you a 9, in it, really. I think it's an 8 thing, but I gotta give you a 9, really. I know I'm missing someone else. Smith Rowe, people. The way I do the team talk, it gets a bit mad. I'm a bit poor at maths. Just so you know, people, such is how poor I am at maths and reading with things from school days. Like, even with sentences, I could really only read them if there were in formations like this. Like, if you could imagine a line, like, it had to be in formations and stuff. But the only one lacking is Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe, 5. Ooh, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. You know what? He set himself some high standards recently, so I'm gonna say a 4. Really, ain't no biggie. Still believe in Smith Rowe. Same way I still believe in Ceballos right now. Ceballos, you was good your last 2 games. You played poor. It is what it is. To be fair, forget the individual performances. Collectively, they all stood up to be counted, and we did the thing. It is what it is. In terms of the subs, though, Willian, on the time played, I'd give you a 7. I've realistically, for all the subs, it's an NA for me. But I'd give Willian a 7. He got an assist, and it was a brighter Willian game. 6, really. It was a meaty game by normal standards, but I think he done all right. Lacazette, NA, El Nene / Chambers. Them man there, it's an NA. They weren't on long enough. I'm missing out. Partey. Partey, I think calm 6 when he came on. I think Partey was calm, in a nice way. Just kept it basic, just playing like how a midfielder's supposed to play. I will give it to Willian as well. In his little subs appearance, he weren't amazing, but it was a better reaction. It's like he's had enough of playing poor form and stuff. So shout out to Willian. Hopefully you can turn your form around and complicate things. Smith Rowe, Ceballos, see a bit better. Everyone could have done a bit better, because let's not get it twisted. Tierney was good today, but he had periods where he was poor. This isn't going to be on Saka's highlights reel, the assist reel, but he weren't amazing. Aubameyang, can't really ask him all your jobs to score, and you're quite limited. Contrasting first and second half. I might not be Xhaka's biggest fan, but I'm not his biggest critic. He was poor today, but he can play better. Not really. You know, Gabriel, second half, you start getting in personal battles and trying to outstrength people. Better performance from David Luiz. So a lot of people, there's a lot of contrast between how they're playing in the first and second half, apart from just being consistently poor. And obviously, you can't ask more for I couldn't ask more for Leno in it. Like Leno, it weren't a game where you popped off bare saves. You couldn't do nothing for none of the goals. So it is what it is in that regards, firmly, people. So that's my player rating. So yeah, if I had to give Arteta one. You know, if I had to give Arteta his rating, I'd give him a 7 because of your subs. You know, you brought on Willian, he made a madness happen. You started Odegaard, you kept on Odegaard. I wouldn't have started Odegaard, and fair play, done his job. You brought on Partey, it helped us. I have said Willian already. You kept faith in Aubameyang through the middle. A lot of these things, if we lost, I would have looked at it a bit shaky. I did think, you know, I have to mark it down because, you know, Bellerin didn't come away with a good performance. I feel Cedric should have played. You know, Partey is not fully fit. So I'd probably give him a 7. Nah, 7's OTT. I'll give him a 6. You know, subs, I'd say 7, you know, because I was criticizing the subs. He got it right. Still don't know what we're doing with Pepe and these sort of guys and Lacazette. Are they fit? Are they just not seen as the tactical fit at this moment in time? I don't know. But we move on to Leicester now, people. Firmly and righteously, we deal with the Leicester game, as you can see here. So yeah, people, that's that. Sorry, people. As you can see here, this is for you lot that will be viewing this later. Oh, that's such a nice guy, bro. Name a more hardworking YouTuber, bro. Who does all of this, man? And then 9 times out of 10, we'll probably clip this up and that up and give you lot individual. I do a madness for you lot, man. Ain't no one that loves you lot more than me. So yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. That's the player ratings. Bro, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Bro, if you don't know your best 11, there's problems. I don't quite think he's better than Phil Foden, but, you know, it's all right, man. We did come very correct with the subs, you know. Come very correct with the subs, man. Partey did open up the field for us. You know, I'd give Partey a 6. I think just he showed me a lot more, but 5's calm, you know. I'm being a bit generous to William because I'm onto him generally. So I gave him a 6. Don't quite think it's a 7. It's cool. You know, I'm not too sure who got the 4. You just said that around Willian shouts. So I think that's a bit harsh on Willian. You know, Saka, same. You know, Oba 9. That's all cool. It's all cool. Man of the match, Saka for the assist. It would be Saka for me. You know, it would be man of the match. Should be free. It's a difficult one because I can't sit here and say the man who scored the winner and the man who got 2 goals after all the criticism in Aubameyang can't be man of the match. But I mean, Saka, you know, on one hand, I think it's Aubameyang, and the other hand, I think it's Saka. And I'll throw Tierney in there, you know. So I can't really pick one, but I'd throw Tierney in there because I look at it, it weren't going Saka or Tierney's way realistically. Like I said, this ain't going to be their best games for Arsenal. But what we saw is the mentality. And the one thing I would like the penny to drop for these Arsenal footballers is for them to just go, why is it always these lot? Why is there always a correlation where if Saka isn't having the best game or if Tierney isn't there like against Palace, we might not win, you know? It's a dangerous game we're playing. But who knows, man? Dangerous game we're playing, man. I'm working on call-ins, but you know how some man, it'll be a good, for the majority, it'll be certified, but you know how you're going to get some man carry on and just move stupid, man. I appreciate that, Noah, man. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. Big up everybody in the comments, man. Big up everybody in the comments. So yeah, we've done up the player ratings, spoken about the game and that. There isn't too much to speak on. I wouldn't say, yeah, he did change the game. I thought you said completely. I read that wrong. Apologies. I would say that. I've already spoken about that. Scroll back and you'll see what I'm saying. Saka's kept Arteta in the job. I appreciate that, my guy SN Gooner. Who do you replace in the summer and with who? I'm not gonna lie, you put me on the top of my on the spot, and off the top of my head, I'm kind of struggling for names. But in terms of a replacement, I think Xhaka could be a squad player. But in terms of what we tell Xhaka to do, I think that role could be done by somebody else. Listen, I'm tired of talking about right back, so I think you know that means a right back needs to arrive. I would like another number 8. Potentially, I would like a 6 if we can't bring one from our academy or do something, because when Partey's not there, we're in problems. I would, if all these areas were done and there was money, I would look to see what we can do in terms of a striker. That's for me personally, my dude. Please, like Rob said, please make sure you hit the like button. Of course, man, I appreciate that. Come on, take care of yourself. Go eat your dinner, man. Go eat your dinner. We're wrapping up anyways, people, man. How do we score the ref? I mean, did he not disallow Aubameyang off? Was Aubameyang's goal offside, people? Because I was watching it live. It didn't look like it was offside. Aubameyang should have a hat-trick. But apart from that, I'd give him a 5. I don't think it was a Ceballos pen, but it is what it is, man. Is what it is, man. Calm 6 for Arteta. His subs were calm, man. Would love that. Fundamentally, you're right, man. What a night it has been, man. And if Arteta was to leave, I wouldn't mind. Out of all them names, Nagelsmann would be high up my list. Gasperini. You know what? If you back Gasperini, you know his experience. He's in his 60s. He plays good football. He's shown he can coach. Gasperini would be high up my list. Nagelsmann for what he's got. I'm rating Marco Reus. I like Ten Hag. I'm not going to lie to you, though, my guy. Ten Hag would probably be last out of all of them for me. Through no criticism, it's just I like Nagelsmann. I just think there's something there. I like Marco Reus, but he's obviously going to Dortmund. And I really rate Gasperini, man. I really rate Gasperini, you know. There's no point bringing in Allegri, not because I wouldn't want him. It's like these elite managers, whether it's Allegri, Conte, we've been linked with Luis Enrique before. They're not going to back them properly, so they're just going to keep it moving. You know, if you're going to bring in, it's like Carlo. If Carlo Ancelotti came in, they're not bringing him James, Decore, Allen all in one window. They're not doing that. You know, you see what even Arteta has to walk with. To be fair, he's obviously more. Them man, they are more clued up, so they might have more clout and able to ask for more things. But yeah, man, that would be that in that regards, people. Really, please make sure you hit the like button. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it moving, people. But the good news is I'll be back tomorrow. You know, I'll be back at some point tomorrow, live streaming. We will preview the game and talk about some other things. I will, you know, throughout the night or early morning, you will get individual clips of definitely the review, potentially the player ratings, but you will get your timestamps in a second. But yeah, man, it's been appreciated. I've appreciated you lot that have rocked with me with this live stream. Obviously, those of you that were here in the prior one, it's always a pleasure. Big up yourselves, stay safe. Please hit the like button. Let's get that to 400 if it isn't there already. Yeah, I appreciate all of you lot. You know, if you're not going to be back tomorrow and you're just going to come back for match days, obviously, I think I've actually done the information on it now. I'll be doing a Leicester versus Arsenal watch along. So go and set the reminders. Also, for those of you that are on Spotify, Apple and Google and the rest of them, tomorrow morning, the Deluded podcast, at some point that will be out. On that note, though, you lot stay safe, man. I'm out, man. Arsenal still in Europa, man. We're out.